Hello and welcome to this YouTube video. It's the match preview, Arsenal versus Leeds United. Another podcast. Welcome.
Well, pleased to be here. We are recording now, are we?
Right, yeah.
We're going. Oh, that's good to know. That was a very professional intro there.
Thanks.
That was our little YouTube intro.
65% is still not finished. 65% of you who watch don't subscribe. So it's completely free. I don't know why you wouldn't do that for us. Here we go. The following podcast contains some strong language and some very average opinions. Any references to actual people are wildly inaccurate. It's probably best if you don't listen at all. The Roaring Peacock Podcast. Welcome back to the Roaring Peacock Podcast. This is the match preview between Arsenal and Leeds United, that very historical of English football ties, and we get to enjoy it 2 times a season because we're definitely nowhere near getting relegated. So welcome back. My name's Adonis, and you know me as @TheAdelites on Twitter. It's a very good hello from me, and joining us representing the Peacocks is our man on the post, Ross. Ring that bell.
Hello.
New introduction
Hello,
for Ross.
Yeah, all of them in there.
And representing the Gooners from the Tuesday Club is our friend Keith Dover.
Hello, pleased to meet you. Now, do you want
back.
to take over the podcast like I did last time and barely give you guys a word in edgeways?
Right, okay. So this
Or
is
shall I just be more giving? I'll let you speak occasionally.
This is the handover then. So it's been nice knowing you.
Yes. Welcome to the Keith Dover podcast.
We're back at the end to say goodbye.
A shit northern accent and chatting away. Complete crap. Right, go on. Go on. You take it away, guys. What do you want to talk about?
I've got one question right out of the blocks, Keith. What is Arsenal these days? What are they?
Do you know that is a very deep and meaningful and perceptive question.
They look lost. They're a team that are lost. Under Wenger, there was a vision, I think. And then you've seemed to have just gone from manager to manager, wanting a better manager every time and just getting progressively worse, it seems.
We are a team in transition.
Let's not depress the man, Ross.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
God, hey, Christ,
He's our guest.
We were toying with relegation a few weeks ago.
Yeah, you had that little blip where you won some games and now you're
back to form again, yeah. Well, let's say we were royally robbed at Wolverhampton, which a game I think we should have won. Mainly, I would say 95% robbed, 5% our own stupidity.
Yeah, one of them was not a red card. The other one was insanity from Leno.
Yeah, that. It's like a cat having a mad half hour. Do you know when cats... when you're at home and your cat decides to run around bizarrely and then up the curtains down, through the hallway, out the kitchen and back into the living room again? That was Leno.
Yeah.
I think once a season, a keeper does have a mad cat half hour, doesn't he? Look at how good they are. I mean, Everton's keeper's got,
once a game for some keepers.
Once a game. But I've no idea what that was about. But I would have... But with Luis, what he should have done is, listen, he's basically got red card tattooed on his shirt.
Yeah.
So in that situation, just go, listen, I'm going to back off, let the guy take a shot, possibly would have scored, most likely would have scored, but you never know, missed. That way he stays on. Second half, we've got 11 men. We go into the game. I think we would have done Wolves.
Yeah.
No, he gets close. The tackle gets made. It wasn't a red. VAR once again. Let's not get started on. Well, we will talk about VAR at some point. And he goes down, and then the Villa game, we just now didn't show up. No idea what was going on there. So who knows what's going to happen this weekend?
Should be fun.
For us, I feel like we're doing incredibly well. We went through a little bit of a bad run, but now we're on our way on a good run. But we've got.
You're on a good.
Is it the same points as Arsenal?
Well, we have 1 point more.
I think you've got 1 point more and a game in hand. Is it a game in hand? I think you've got a game in hand, yeah.
So we've got 1 point more, essentially, with no guarantees, but a lot lower expectations, I think. I think that's our trick.
Well, it is our expectation because you have a group of people, the board. It's not the fans who make these proclamations. I mean, when we left Highbury, you know, we was going to compete with Barcelona, we was going to beat Dortmund, and it's the board and all the people behind the scenes have all said, we've got this plan in place, we're going to do this, we're going to be there, and it doesn't come to fruition. It doesn't happen. And then, you know, fans phone in and they moan and they go, oh, moaning Arsenal fans. Well, hang on. I've never said Arsenal are going to be the next Barcelona, next Real Madrid. I never went on national news or wrote in the programme, this is where we're going to be in 5 years' time. This is the Arsenal infrastructure that said this.
Yeah.
And then they've made some piss poor buys, spent money... 72 million pound on Pepe, which is possibly one of the most dodgy deals in living history. 27 million on a guy we've never seen, right? Saliba. So that's 99 million pound blown. We could have got Wilf Zaha. You know, I'm just an ignorant football fan. We could have got Wilf Zaha for 70 million, saved another 20, and he's up and running. It's just.
I don't know if you've seen Rafinha that we've got, but it cost us £17 million. 17.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. It's so, and these are guys who are meant to be the experts. I'm not blaming Arteta. The ones he's bought, the ones he's picked out have been good buys. He's had to clear out a lot of dead wood. And when I say dead, I wouldn't say dead wood, a dead forest of crap. Unadulterated rubbish that has been bought under previous regimes, and he's having to deal with this.
Yeah.
But
he seems lost between wanting to play the kids like Leeds legend Emile Smith-Rowe and Reece Nelson and those sort of guys, but also having to play Pepe and Lacazette, who's not on form.
Lacazette, Willian is the one who's... Willian, yeah. I mean, that is Brazilian pensioners home with somehow. Oh, what's the connection? Edu, Willian, oh, hello.
Yeah.
Really? And we're keeping out a guy called Balogun. We're keeping out Willock, Maitland-Niles, and you've got, as I say, Pepe and Willian, and they're keeping the youngsters out. I'd rather, we've said this on our own podcast, play the youngsters. If we lose, we go down fighting, at least it's our own, instead of playing the same sack of shit week in, week out. And they're not producing, you know.
No, you could play the kids for every game from now to the end of the season. You wouldn't go down because that bottom three are doomed. I don't think there's any way any others will fall into that. So why not? Why not give him a go? Arteta's not going to lose his job, is he? He's not a Lampard position.
I don't think he's going to lose his job, but I tell you what, if we'd have had the fans in the stadium, I think he would have possibly gone. And it's not the toxic atmosphere that you do get in stadiums. It's the fact that you've got empty seats. I mean, listen, if there was fans that stayed in the stadium right now, let's say there was no COVID, how many people do you think would be at the Arsenal this weekend?
Probably half full.
It would be. We've got nothing to play for. There's no top six going. We're only in the Europa League. As soon as we get anyone half decent, we're going to go out of that unless we really have a change of attitude.
It almost wishes that you had maybe an older, smaller, you know, more historic stadium that you could more easily fill.
Yeah.
If
only more compact, nice, compact, tight stadium close to the pitch. Yeah.
Bit of an atmosphere.
I want to give Leeds fans nightmares of. I hated going to Highbury. It was awful for us every time.
Listen, Ellen Road, very intimidating, and you got space to build. Once you get taken over by the Arabs one day, mate, and suddenly you've got
60, the Americans for us,
and then you'll be. Oh God, if you get the Americans, you'll be fine. Here we go. You won't hear a Yorkshire accent anywhere in the stadium. They'll all be tourists.
That'll be the next Gulf War. It'll be over Leeds United.
You'll have one stand where you might have locals that manage to get in, and the rest are all be tourists, you know.
Americans all over the place.
Oh, dear.
So let's talk about that first game then.
Yes, when one of your guys decides to fall down like a sack of shit. Can you imagine would Billy Bremner? Billy Bremner may have fallen down, but then he would have got up and punched him.
Yeah. Had you been made aware of Gianni Alioski before the game?
Yeah. Listen, we've all got one in every team. Granit Xhaka, he's an embarrassment. You only have to touch him and he's rolling around the floor, clutching his face. Every team's got one.
It's Gianni's birthday.
Every team does it.
It is, yeah. He's a head case. He's not a violent player or anything like that. No. He's just mental.
Yeah.
Don't you find it though embarrassing? Isn't it embarrassing? Because if you was to meet one, let's say, for instance, you was in a nightclub one night and you brushed against one of these players, they'd go, "What's your name?" You go, "I'm Ross Bell." "Oh, really? You want to step outside?" You go, "Sorry, mate, I only brushed you." You brush me. I'm a Premier League footballer. I take no shit from you. Bang, you're decked out. His mates are kicking you in the ribs. The doorman's intervening, giving you a punch because you're a nobody, right? But meet the same guy on the football pitch, tap him on the shoulder. He's rolling around like a cripple, screaming.
I'm pretty sure Alioski would be sooner like licking the inside of your nose for absolutely no reason, rather than
he's that sort of weird.
It's caring the community, Keith. It's caring the community.
But don't you? It is embarrassing, as I say. Every team they go down, and do you ever catch the big match revisited? You can get it on. Watch those games.
Yeah.
You literally had to attack someone with a pickaxe handle before you even got a free kick, let alone a penalty.
Yeah.
And even the Brian Moyes commentator, they go, "Didn't look like a foul to me." It didn't look like a foul. His bone's sticking out of his leg.
I'm going to play devil's advocate because I do agree with you to a certain extent. I'm not so far into it that I would be like the game's gone, but I do think that it's ridiculous how they dive, especially players like Grealish. But having said that, if Pepe comes up to me and I'm a professional footballer and let's face it, it was more of a kind of, the New Zealanders do it. They touch foreheads to like kiss, it's like, "Hello, brother," or whatever. So it was a bit of that. I mean, it wasn't a headbutt. But if I don't go down there, I'm looking at myself later and I'm thinking I really should have gone down there. So I think, we've also Rafinha as well. He gets tackled in the area and he doesn't go down. And I'm screaming at the TV, "Go down!"
But that's do it. But that's bizarre. We shouldn't be in that situation. Really, there's a couple of ways this could stop, right? So listen, I'm not making our team do exactly the same. Happens all the time. So a guy brushes his head against the other guy. He rolls down like he's been headbutted. Now, what you should do in that situation is you've got the red, and then you go over, you kick the guy firmly in the bollocks as hard as you can.
Yeah, right.
Which in this case, then you're all sent off. Maybe you get an extra few weeks, but the other guy, next time he gets a brush on the forehead, they go, I'm not sure I'm going to go down this time, remembering the hefty kick in the bollocks. I mean, listen, the iconic photograph of Dave Mackay grabbing Billy Brett, those two would have been sent off for that.
Yeah.
Dave Mackay would have gone, Bremner would have gone, 10-game ban.
Yeah.
Get some reality back, Let's just listen. If you're going to play silly buggers, both have a fight. Go on.
Get your money's worth for red cards.
I'd love to see millionaires hit each other. Isn't that? Doesn't it? Two overpaid twats. Actually, and when they fight, they're pathetic. No one knows how to throw a decent punch.
No, they don't.
Like waving their hands around. Clench your fist, good right hook, a couple of jabs. There you go, entertainment. I would. None of this crap when people phone and go, "Oh, but what does the children? How does this affect the children?" And you get them phoning. "I run a kids under 11 team, right? I mean, I think it's a disgrace. Like what I see on the match of the day the other night. You can't show that in front of you. Come on. I'd love to go and see two footballers belting the shit out of each other. That's what we want to see.
It would be convenient to lay the blame at the feet of Pepe, but I believe that in the 50 minutes previous to that incident, we were also outplaying you.
Well, that wasn't too difficult, was it? The period with our relegation tally period,
Yeah.
But
I listened to the Tuesday Club after the game, and you were saying things like, "But it's Leeds."
In what context were we saying it's Leeds?
It's like I can't believe we're not doing better against Leeds.
Well, we should though. Come on, let's face it. You have been a tad Jekyll and Hyde this season, isn't it? I mean,
true.
1 minute
10, lost 10.
You're one of the most exciting teams to watch, and then the other so it's like, hang on, let's can't be the same team.
Yeah, we lose to Brighton 1-0.
Yeah, and I've seen you run. You first game of the season, you run Liverpool ragged.
But that day, but that day, that was one of our good days. You caught us on a good day. Yeah,
we had 25 shots, but only 4 on target. That was the issue. Just couldn't fucking hit the target.
we hit the frame of the goal enough times, 4 or 5 times.
They're a definite Jekyll and Hyde team, but I mean, it is good to watch someone. I'd rather watch someone like the way Leeds play than that. You get that horrible survival. Tony Pulis, Sam Allardyce football. I mean,
the bottom half of the table's full of it, and it's awful.
If you're going to go down fighting, but don't go down boring people to death.
Yeah.
I mean, when people who pay good money to go to watch football and then you put on your TV and you go, oh, my God. I mean, I've sat through games and you just think, for the love of Christ. When they start time wasting.
Palace on Monday, and I thought, what's the point of Palace? What are they here for? What's their end game? Because they're awful.
Yeah, without Will Zaha, they're rubbish.
And
yet we've been accused of being defensively naive.
No, we're just defensively full of Championship players and League One players. That's the defensive issue we've got.
Under 23s.
Yeah, exactly. Kids.
But you are exciting to watch at times, aren't you? You haven't bored anyone. You're not time wasting from the moment the ball is kicked, which is what you do get with some games. And you think, hang on, we're a minute and a half into the match and the goalkeeper's now taking his time to take a goal kick.
Yeah.
I get it if you're 1-0 up and there's only 2 minutes left. That I understand. But when you're doing it directly from kickoff, you're thinking, is there an entertainment factor meant to be going on here?
Yeah, 1 up with 2 minutes to go. We'd still be pushing 7 or 8 men forward.
Yeah.
We don't bother defending. We don't run to the corners. We just try and score. It's fun. It's nerve-wracking as well. But
So I'm looking at the teams that started that game then. And for Leeds, it was Meslier in goal, Ayling, Koch, Cooper, Alioski, Phillips, Rafinha, Click, Dallas, Harrison, Bamford. So basically full strength. And for you guys, it was Bernd in goal, Tierney, Gabriel, Holding, Bellerin, Xhaka and Ceballos, Willian, Willock, Pepe, and Aubameyang.
Yeah, well, Willian, there you go. So that makes you 1 player short already. Right. So, take him out of the equation. Now playing with 10 men.
Has Willock gone to Newcastle?
Willock's gone to Newcastle, scored on his debut, so he's a hero up there. That's already. We probably built a statue for him.
Retired his shirt.
Yeah, there you go. It'll be a Messiah, won't it? Up there now. The Messiah. I love it with Newcastle games. As soon as they get a new manager, he's the Messiah. No, he's not. He's going to be as useless
There's a Geordie somewhere getting his face tattooed onto this arse cheek.
It's probably. Yeah, he's probably got Willock. Willock, Joe Willock written on his.
European Champions 2021.
Yeah.
Oh. But it was a bet, man.
That Arsenal team for this weekend is going to be a bit different then, because is he suspended still?
Yes.
No,
hang on. No, or was it one game ban? Wasn't it?
He's back. He's back. The predicted lineup for Arsenal should be Leno, Cedric, Gabriel, Holding, Bellerin, Xhaka, Ceballos, Pepe, Smith Rowe, Saka, and Lacazette. So arguably a weaker team.
If Kieran, without Kieran Tierney, we are very. It's not just his defensive. He just seems to drive the team, rev them up, and he's the guy. But we need more players like him, and I don't get our attitude sometimes. I mean, the Villa game was just typical of the not looking right all round. It's just not firing on all. But I think we might get a result. Sorry, guys. I think it could be 2-1. I predicted a draw, if you remember last time.
We haven't got on to score predictions. Thank you very much, Keith. I'm back in the Keith Dover podcast. I knew this would happen.
Blame me. We're just, all right, we'll come to that later.
There's an order.
List. Is there an order?
I don't mean
Jackie
to get
Jackie Weaver, you have no right to.
I've got no authority here, Keith
Dover. No authority here, Keith Dover.
I don't mean to get all Kylo Ren on you, but there's an order.
Wasn't that weird? Man, just some guys there have seriously got to look at themselves in the mirror and might say to themselves, we've got mental health issues. Especially the vice one who went, well, there was the vice chairman in that Jackie Weaver thing, and he kept saying, you're out of order, you're wrong, I'm the vice chairman, you've got no authority here, you've got no You flipping hell, mate, it's just... Oh, and he's really, you're thinking, I wouldn't trust him in a room full of kids or my wife or anybody for that matter.
Well, you wonder what politicians are like behind closed doors.
Yeah, there's a glimpse.
Yeah, they're weird, I know. They're all weird. I wouldn't trust them with pets. But anyway, let's get back to football.
This is a proper Super Sunday. This is 4 o'clock Sunday, Leeds Arsenal.
Yeah.
This is what it's all in
How Super Sunday is that?
I think there are people from all over the world who'd be looking for nothing more they like in Malaya or the Philippines. A mid-table, dreary Sunday afternoon.
Well, last week, wasn't it Scum against Liverpool? And that was just an absolute dreadful game of football.
Yeah. Well, this is it. They do build matches up like, this is going to be a cracker. And never is it? It's just sometimes it's just...
Leeds and Arsenal played 45 games between the season and they've got 6 draws. This is going to end one way or another in a win for someone. We're not going to draw this, that's for sure.
The thing is that, I mean, league table wise, it's not going to affect anything, is it? So it's how the players approach this, isn't it? I mean, do you think without the fans, there's almost a mindset where they approach each game like a training session? And some teams have been able to get into their mind that this actually is a game of football, and others, meaning us, Arsenal, it's just like being down at the London Coney. It's just another training day.
We've got about 8 coaches on our bench, all yelling at our players to run, fuck, run,
just run,
and
run away.
Victor Orta in the stands, who is our larger than life director of football, who is basically a one-man stand. So I think we've also got this thing where it's our first season and we're all fresh-faced and rosy-cheeked. So I think there's plenty of enthusiasm for us.
What games do you think you would have won would have made a difference if the crowd had been at Ellen Road, on the traditional wet Tuesday evening,
Well, we'd have beaten you for a start.
We lost 2-1 to Everton last week, and we're mad at them. It's just one of those cases where the fans weren't there to just suck the ball into the goal. We would have definitely beaten Everton last week.
Yeah.
Brighton,
Wolves.
Would the attendances? What do you think the attendances would have been? Would it have been up?
You wouldn't have been able to buy a ticket for love, money, or a liver.
It's 20,000 people on the waiting list for season tickets, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, what's the capacity at Ellen Road these days? Is it
39,000? Give or take.
39? Yeah. So that's a good capacity. And if it was this was the stadium like these days, is it?
We could almost move to
Mankey,
a brand.
Is it?
We could almost
very
move
old. It's very rickety.
To a brand new 60,000 seater soulless stadium somewhere.
You'd love us. You should have been. Look, so you've got some rat infested stadium, rust, looking like some traveller's fairground in need of gaffer tape holding.
How do you think we save on the pie fillers without the rats?
Is it bleak Yorkshire moor, and it's all.
Do you like the Emirates, Keith? Is it a nice time to watch football in?
It was initially, but when it rains, we must have the only stadium with a roof where you still can get wet.
Yeah, I listen to Alan moan about that every podcast. He said I managed to get wet every week.
We went to the Burnley game, when they allowed 2,000 fans in, and what a joke that was. So you had to go basically through like when you go on an aeroplane passport. So you had to empty all your pockets out.
Yeah.
Right. Then they body searched you. Then they done a heat thing. Okay, great. You go through that. It's all through tents, and there's people with masks on. It was something like out of a horror movie, So you go through that. Then you go to the gate and you think, you're great, I got my ticket. But no, the guy needs to read the ticket. He has to look at what the Christ, it's a ticket. You sent us the bloody thing. What do you think I'm going to do? Forge a load more? So then he has to look at the printout ticket, and then you go through, and of course you can't stand in the thoroughfares and have a pint. You've got to be down at your seat, and of course you go there, and of course it was pissing down with rain. So despite a 60,000 stadium, where do they put everybody? Down the front. Why? Of course you would. When it's pouring down with rain, let's go down the deep end. How do you go? Can we move back into one of those empty seats where it's nice and dry? No, you've got to stay in that seat.
Enjoy the rain. Yeah,
enjoy the rain. Just what is it with people who run football? They absolutely piss everything up, don't they? They always
suck the joy out of it. It's everything.
So there was.
It's everything from VAR to the pie taxes.
The pie taxes. Oh yeah, we should write on the pie tax. You say that though. I wouldn't be at all surprised if the Premier League went. They've probably heard this pie tax. Why didn't we think of that? What a great idea! Every Premier League club sells pies. We could have a piece of the action. Why don't we get a pie tax going?
But we certainly can't claim to have invented the pie tax. No.
No.
Well, no.
It was Chilena, wasn't it? It wasn't Bates.
It was, yeah.
It was Chilena. Yeah.
Yeah. You did £5 pie a pint though.
Yeah. One of our former owners put a pie tax on.
Really?
Yeah. On the south stand.
And how did that work?
Not very well.
I mean,
no.
So
he's a maniac.
They increased the price of your pies.
Increased the price of your ticket.
Yeah.
But you got a free.
Got a pie with it.
Pie. A pint.
Listen, football people, you take UEFA, right? So we've got a COVID pandemic. We've got to play Benfica, so they've decided the first leg's got to be played in Rome, and then, bizarrely, the second leg in either Greece or Hungary. Now, if it's going to be played in a neutral venue anyway, let's make it a one-legged tie. But no, let's increase the chances of spreading the worst disease since the Great Plague to other countries. Yeah. So, yes, Italy, they haven't suffered from the pandemic much, have they? Oh, so let's go and Give them a bit more COVID. Hungary, Greece, yeah, let's give... Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
man.
it's been confirmed you're going to Greece. You're going to the Olympiacos Stadium for that second leg.
Make it a one-legged tie.
Yeah, why not?
If we're going to play in a different country, you make it one-legged. Now, you figured that out. I've figured that out. Any other sane football fan in the country has figured that out, but no. In Switzerland, isn't it? That's where they're based.
The FA Cup is the example for me. They had to stop football in all the lower leagues because of COVID. Okay, they don't have the facilities, but the FA Cup, no, that's fine. Let's go ahead with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's send Crawley to
I had the biggest nightmares. I was envisaging Bielsa getting COVID and dying. Yeah. I was envisaging, 3 or 4 Leeds players out with COVID. Oh my God.
Yeah, how did that cup game go for you?
Fantastic, yeah.
Standard, basically. Standard FA Cup games for us.
We brought entertainment to the whole nation. And you saw our keeper troubles. You think you've got it bad with Leno acting like a crazy cat for one game a season. Kiko's there. He's waiting for it. He's got madness in his eyes, waiting to go the ball go anywhere near our own half, and then he's off.
And if he's not doing that, he's shouting racist abuse at other players.
Right? Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Or walking the ball into the goal, into his near post. Yeah. There you go. This way. Like one of those fucking guys with flags at the airports.
Yeah. Go on, come this way. Yeah, that was a bit of a shocker, wasn't it? That was up there. That was. But
not for us. And we literally
predicted it, didn't we?
Predicted it. Literally predicted the exact scoreline and how it would happen. That was Alex. Yeah. 3-0 incoming were his words. All goals at the near post.
Yeah.
Did you have any money on this?
No, you should have done.
You should have done. Oh, there you go. You should have put some money on that, lads.
No, we don't do the FA Cup. Not since 1972.
1972.
That's more your thing.
Yeah. Who was that again? No. Okay.
Us.
So Leeds have failed to score in both games against Arsenal under Bielsa. The only team in Bielsa's managerial career that has faced more than once without seeing Leeds score a goal. So 16 different players have had a shot against you. And that's 43 shots in total. 43 shots.
When you say 43 shots, how many of them were actually on target where you go, ooh? As opposed to, you're kidding
details,
me.
Keith. Come on. We're not
there's a lot of shot that.
Not statistical-based podcast here. We're more entertainment.
I think you are.
Yeah, what was the XG on those shots, Donny? All of them.
Oh God. Let's not get into XG.
It makes you wonder, though, when you see a professional footballer, when that's all they do is, play football, and when they could kick a ball 70 feet over a bar. I mean, if you're watching snooker, they'd miss a shot.
Right.
The ball doesn't suddenly go flying into the auditorium. Oh, where did that come from? A golfer will miss a putt. He doesn't whack it and suddenly, oh, Christ, look, he's done in the crowd. Oh, look at the blood.
I think O'Sullivan's taken her eye out. Scenes of the Crucible.
Even motor racing, yes, they have a prank, but you don't suddenly see an error at the start of the Formula One. Hamilton's reversing. Yeah. Boom.
Well, in wrong gear.
He's missed that corner by a mile.
He's gone into the main stage. He's suddenly, where's he? He's up there and won. If it doesn't happen, it's only in football where you see some of the most horrendous shots. Don't even get corners.
Happened on Monday against Crystal Palace. Pat Bamford beat Gary Cahill on the halfway line, ran the whole length of the pitch, and just smashed the ball right into the top tier of the stand.
The camera zoomed in on him after he'd scooped it into the south stand, and he was you could lip read him saying that was fucking shit. So they know.
Well, that's good to hear. Yeah. It's like, as I say, did we mention this the last time I was on this? The corner thing, and you see your striker taking a corner, you go, hang on, call me old-fashioned, but shouldn't you be somewhere in the penalty box?
Get in the box.
Oh, God.
Maybe we could get our left or right back.
Harry Kane at the Euros. Don't get me started.
Man. Every England manager goes mental at some point, and that was our moment. That's when, Roy suddenly went gaga. It's just
he's up at 2 a.m. I've had an idea.
Yeah. Writing it down in his little pad.
Let's not have any more ideas there, Roy.
Do you think he wakes up at night, in a cold sweat and go, what did I think? Why did I even come up with that? But then you've got to blame the players. Surely there's someone on the pitch who go, listen, I know what he's told you to do.
Yeah. Sack that off.
But just don't.
Yeah.
See that bloke over there? He takes the corners. You, Harry, go and get in the 6-yard box.
Worked at the last World Cup.
Be a bit useful.
Yeah. I seem to remember him scoring a few headers from corners in the World Cup.
Yeah.
That was a good tactic to put our probably best striker in the box.
Near the goal.
I know that. You must have to say that through gritted teeth.
That's a radical idea, isn't it? I mean, putting your best centre forward in the penalty box, possibly in the 6-yard box if you're a tall player, known for your heading ability. Wacky, crazy idea, but hey, give it a go.
You never know.
But then if you're a highly paid football manager, you might say, no, this is what kind of fan idiot would come up with that sort of idea? No,
what do we know?
What do we know? No, have them taken the corners. I am so missing the pub. Are you missing the pub?
Yeah, I thought that yesterday.
Jesus.
I want to sit in a pub. It would be lovely.
I just want to, that day when you can go in a pub again and just, I want to go up to the barman and go, please, never go again. Just give him a hug.
Yeah. Believe me.
And everyone's going to buy them drinks, are they? They're going to go, I have 4 lagers and a drink for yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
give him a hug at the start of the night, and then a few hours in, it's a bit of a kiss. Then a few hours later, you're saying that you love him and you're trying to kiss him again with a little bit of tongue. And then by the end of the evening, you're basically proposing to him and asking if we can all live together in the pub forever.
That's not. Wouldn't that be great? They're just living in a pub.
Yeah.
Where I live, there's a Portuguese deli, and they sell really cheap beer there. It's £3 a pint, which I know for Northerners is like extravagant. £3 a pint, we only pay £1 here. And proper beer and all, with mud and frogs in it. But no. And beef.
It's mainly Bovril.
But no. And we used to be able to meet up outside. But now with this Uber lockdown, we can't even go outside and meet up. And it's just like, I'm going stir crazy.
Unexpectedly Etonian view of Northerners, but still quite accurate.
Come on. I know it is, because every time I meet someone from up north, which is anywhere past Watford as far as I'm concerned.
Watford.
Watford. Since you go past Watford, I'm in Yorkshire.
It's all the same.
It's all the same to me. It's, I'll bypass the Midlands. Even actually, Brummies hate it if they go, you're a Northerner. No, I'm not. I'm from the Midlands. No, you're a Northerner. But they've all gone, how much do you pay for a beer? We never pay that in Leeds or Skemsdale or some other place. They're always moaning about the price of beer.
£2 should be enough. Let's get on to some score predictions.
Go on then.
So previously you guessed 1-1 and you guessed that Aubameyang scored, which meant that you got 0 points, because if you guess a goal scorer and it's wrong, it's obviously -1. And for us, actually, it was that's wrong. It was -1. So
So I predicted the correct score, but I got... Right.
Alex guessed 1-0 with Rafinha to score. And, of course, in the last seconds, he hit the crossbar. Yes. It was 1-on-1. So, -1 for us and 0 points for you. And the current standings are the Roaring Peacock team -1. Our opponents -9.
We're doing well.
Yes, we're crushing it, I think is the phrase.
I think minus is obviously the big word here. Has actually anyone got anything right occasionally?
You know what? The Chelsea guy predicted the exact scoreline, and he predicted two additional scorers.
Oh, wow!
That's the most points so far. So he got 5 points. The lowest scores have been -4, which has been scored twice. And
so some people have actually predicted it right. Oh, okay. So where can we throw our 2 penneth in then? When can I start?
Right. So for any new listeners, you can play along at home. And you can play along in the YouTube comments. Yeah, in the YouTube comments. Why not? Or on Twitter if you're listening on the podcast. So you get 1 point for predicting the correct result. So win, draw, or loss for either team. You get 2 extra points for the exact score prediction. And you get 1 point for predicting a goal scorer. But to stop you gaming the system and naming every player in both squads, you get -1 for each incorrect goal scorer. So with all that in mind, Keith, as the owner of this podcast,
okay, I'm gonna say we're gonna win 2-1.
Okay,
and I will go for Lacazette and Aubameyang.
Is Aubameyang going to play?
Well, he may come on. I'm taking a chance that he's going to come on. That's
a null and void if he doesn't make an appearance bet.
It's the visions coming through the ether. The fog's clearing. Yes, sorry. My spirit guide. Hang on. Yeah. She's predicted 2-1.
North London's answer to Mystic Meg.
He's by my side. He's saying 2-1. He's whispering in my ear like that. But he's not on the team sheet. No, he's definitely saying yes.
You might want to talk to someone about those voices that you're hearing, Keith. I can see something in your life. I'm getting another message coming through. Have you ever worn trousers? Yeah.
My God, you see the spirits.
No. Oh, so I'm seeing shorts in your life.
At a very young age, yes.
Okay. And,
I might be wearing them now. You never know. You don't know what's below my waist, do you? At this moment in time. If I stood up, you could be shocked. But as we're being on YouTube, you never know. We've got boundaries. There could be young children or married couples watching.
Right. Keep it decent. Yeah. And I don't want to have to blur anything out in the edit. Okay. And Ross?
After saying earlier that it won't be a draw, I'm going to go for 2-2.
2-2.
High scoring draw. I'm going to go for 1 for Bamford, 1 for Jackie Harrison. And I'm also going to predict the Arsenal scorers if you want.
Go on then.
I mean, it's up to you. You know how the system works.
I do.
the more goal scorers you predict, probably the more minus points you're going to get.
Yep, I'm going for I'm going big here. Go home. David Luiz is going to score from a header from a corner. Look at that. I'm moving a house in the score as well.
Okay.
And Granit Xhaka is going to thunder in a free kick.
Yeah. Did is it Adonis? Is your correct pronunciation?
Yeah,
Adonis. Have you got a job? Adonis, Adonis. Have you got a job with UEFA? Because you clearly love working out some kind of coefficient point
scoring thing.
Yeah, I bet he is. I bet he works in your. Oh yeah, let's come up with some crazy plan to fuck up football a bit more, shall we? I know.
He's not far from Switzerland. He's an agent.
Yeah.
He's been out
Every time someone scores, instead of them actually going 1-0 up, we'll take a point off so they can't actually reach. I bet you would do, wouldn't you? He's the kind of you're one of those guys who comes up with crazy rules in football. You know, where should we have the final? I know. How about Tibet? They haven't got a stadium. Never mind. That's where the Euros are going to be played. It's not in Europe. We don't care.
Keith. And this podcast is one gigantic resume.
For your UEFA application CV.
Yeah.
You play this to them and they go, "You're in. We love the way you think. You're clearly deranged. Anyone who could come up with a point system where no one actually wins, despite the fact that they actually predict the score right." That's your plan.
Well, what can I say? Okay. So I think we've been going quite a while now, so we better wrap this up before we lose
the will to live.
Yeah. And
what about other predictions for other games? Have you ever thought of that? We could, who's playing this weekend? Who do you think's going to win the Premiership? So if we predict that, if I predict Manchester City are going to win the Premiership, but I get the goal scorers wrong, then by your train of thought, they get relegated.
I think predicting Man City to win the Premiership, I don't think you should win anything for that, because they are definitely going to win this season.
5 points clear with the game in hand.
Did we mention, I don't know if I mentioned on the last podcast that actually we should, because Manchester City keep winning the League Cup, that they should just stay in. They should be in the final, right? Whoever wins the finals goes directly to the final the following year.
Right.
And then it's like winner stays on.
Winner stays on.
When you play pool, winner stays on. We could do that with every cup competition. Winner stays on. Yeah. So
the League Cup's worth it. The League Cup's worth trying that at least, because no one else cares about it.
Be great, wouldn't it? Put a big 50p down on the stadium roof. That's what you do, don't you? When you're playing pool, you put a £1 coin or something, and then winner stays on. That'd be interesting, though, wouldn't it? Winner stays until it gets to the point. They've won it again. 20 years, Manchester City have won the League Cup, which is pretty much the way they're going for it at the moment.
I mean, you can do anything you want to the Cups. It won't affect Leeds. So
yeah, we're going to get there. It's fine.
You say that. You wait till I tell you what, this time next year, if you're in a final of the FA Cup or the League Cup or whatever happened to those bizarre comments, the Freight Rover Vauxhall Van Egg Cup.
Yeah.
LDV Van's trophy.
Yeah. Papa Johnson's
thing.
Papa Johnson's paint.
Paint cup. I wonder where the trophies are. I wonder if they're in a shed somewhere. They're probably under the Leeds stand, under that.
Down the well.
Down the well. Have you got a well?
We have under the pitch, yeah.
Under the pitch?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant a well like with the bricks and the little.
There's a proper well under the pitch, yeah. Underneath all the pipes and everything, there's a well down there.
A well?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
Is that where the
there's a drought.
Probably, yeah. That's why the pitch is so wet all the time.
Have you got a curse?
Yeah,
how did you get that?
There's a curse.
Well, what sort of curse?
Several, just being extremely unlucky, I think. But several managers have tried to, and owners have tried to get rid of it.
The chairman we spoke about earlier, but I told to exercise the ghost, didn't he?
Well,
right, yeah, exercise the demons.
Came after your great period of domination during the early 70s. Late 60s and 70s. So who put the curse on? When did it?
Well, Don Revie tried to get the curse lifted by Gypsy Rose, who was a Wiccan.
Can't say Gypsy, got to be Traveller Rose.
Practicer. Can you not say that anymore? I think that was her name.
No,
it was.
Sure that was her.
Actually, I'm not even sure you can say Traveller. I think it's like free range.
Okay. Romani.
Free range.
No, you can't say that. Oh,
no, God.
Okay. You'll get letters. The people who are woke out there. There's, these woke people who could listen to this and now they're laying on the floor crying, sobbing, covered in their own piss and urine. because you have offended them by your outrageous and scandalous talk. You've got to put a warning now at the start of this podcast. You go, some listeners may find the terminology offensive, and it was from a different time.
We do have quite a few disclaimers at the start of our podcast.
It's a 20-minute long disclaimer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be by the end of the season.
Do you know, that's a great way of getting your listening figures up. Just a really long disclaimer, say, if it's anyone who's offended by strong language, sexual images, flashing images, terminology from another era, anything, you know.
And to the Jews, who probably don't listen to this podcast.
Who?
The Jews.
After our Stony
the Jews. Oh, God, you see, you've done it again. There's somebody else there on the floor crying.
And to Scottish people.
You can offend them.
Please switch off now.
Don't offend anyone that have terrorist links, Russian-based, Chinese-based, any of that lot who can actually really get offended and kill you.
Yeah.
Right?
For the hearing impaired. Please.
Oh, no.
Please do not listen to this podcast.
What about blind people's dogs as well? They come for us.
What have the offended ever done for us?
Oh, you see. Don't get me started. Right. Anyway, where were we? I've lost the thread.
I think you were trying to wrap it up.
I was trying to wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Okay. So
go on, wrap it up.
This was a match preview, wasn't it?
Tie it up.
I can't even remember anymore.
It was. So
Arsenal are playing a game.
We haven't really even talked about the match, have we?
No. Again, what was the point of these previews?
It's mid-table obscurity for both teams. Do you think anyone cares?
We should really change the category of these podcasts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's got nothing. It's got fuck all to do with sport.
I think we've covered a good demographic of what most football fans want to talk about.
Yeah.
They don't, you know.
At least we kept the Putin bashing off the recording.
Don't.
We got all of that out before we pressed record.
He's a very nice man. He's a strong man.
Very strong. He loves to show off his muscles, doesn't he, on horseback? Just to let everybody know how very strong he is.
I'd rather see Putin on a horse than Boris Johnson, let's face it. You know, I mean, that's not a good look.
He is the one person you don't want to offend, isn't he?
Putin.
Talking about offending people?
No, he's definitely not. No, he's a very nice man, and I think Russia is a lovely place.
Right.
Let's not knock it.
And I love
I'm not being sarcastic. Anyone listening out there, I'm being truthful.
I love what they did with our democracy and taking us out of Europe. Brilliant.
No, let's not go there either.
Right. But, Arsenal are kicking a bladder around a rectangular pitch against Leeds United.
Yes.
Final thoughts on that then, or first thoughts?
It's either going to be a very exciting, full-blooded match, or it's going to be as dull as dishwater. I'm going for somewhere in between. Full-blooded.
Now that's
dishwater.
a prediction. That is a prediction that right there. You cannot be wrong.
Let's face it, do we care? There's no fans. There's no football shit. It's all gone to pot, hasn't it? You know, let's wait to start the next season when we can get back into our grounds again and take them back. Yeah.
So, as you can tell, the season has gone well for Arsenal, and
they piss me off. A bunch of overpaid pansies, every single one of them.
And Ross, first and final thoughts.
Looking forward to it. It's going to be a good day. My wife's going to have a really romantic Valentine's Day with me shouting at the TV.
Oh, that must cheer her up.
Valentine's Day. I always forget about that because we just don't care about it.
No.
You have Valentine's Day in the north of England? Is that something you celebrate?
No.
Donny's in Europe. He's in Austria.
Austria, yeah, that's a bit dodgy. Yeah. Well, he says he's in Austria. He's got some cartoon background behind him. How do we know? He could be in a caravan in Kent.
Living in a bunker.
Yeah.
Well, if it's in Austria, a good bunker's probably a good place to be. What's it like living in Austria? Is it nice? Is it the lockdown situation calmer over there? Can you go into a bar?
No.
No? Oh.
World's fucked.
No, there are protests against wearing masks and...
Yeah.
Really? Now, that is pathetic.
Yeah.
I mean, in 1939, people had to wear a great big piece of rubber with glass and thing, carry it around. It's just a piece of
probably
cloth
best not
over
mention
your face.
1939 in Austria.
They started it. Do you know what? I went to Germany once. We went to Dresden and it was cold. So I deliberately did not wear my World War II flying jacket because I didn't want to offend anybody. Right? This is serious. Honestly, I was freezing out there. But every tour you go on, they mention, boom, 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 the bombing. And eventually it really gets on your tits. And it came close to, I really did want to say, well, you started the bloody thing, didn't you? I mean, let's face it. And I recall London, Liverpool, dare say Leeds, everywhere, we all got bombed. So to stop fucking moaning.
Everyone has at least one John Cleese moment in their life.
I know. But it was like, it was their fault. I'm being repeatedly prodded in the chest. Oh, you bombed us.
Keith went to Germany with the best intentions.
Yeah.
And he's leaving in chains.
I fucking froze out there just because I didn't want to upset them by wearing a flying jacket. I wish I had worn it now with goggles and a flying hat as well, with tattooed on the back, "We won." And see how they got on with that. Like every coach trip, every museum, And fair play to the Russians because they took over the place. They rebuilt it from the blueprints. They could have but they actually rebuilt the entire city how it used to look from the original blueprints. So the Russians did well there. It gave them something to do, didn't it?
You've gone to giving Russia a compliment in order to try and absolve yourself.
Ingratiate. Yes. Well,
remove yourself from any Putin talk.
Well, it's only because we've got friends out there. One, I don't want to get them into trouble, and there's a very good chance I'll go out and visit them one day. And I don't want someone pulling me over at Moscow airport and going, hello, just a comrade, sit down, let's have a little chat, shall we? Let's have a look at this podcast.
This Leeds United podcast you did.
From 2021. That was years ago. Yeah, well, I said, well, it wasn't me, it was that bloke in Austria. He said it. It sounded a bit sarcastic to me, Mr. Dover. Suddenly I'm in a gulag. Trading cigarettes for a bit of cat meat. It's,
Oh, that should be the podcast title.
Right.
All right, shall we go now?
Yes, let's go. So if you enjoyed this, why not subscribe and do all of that other shit, like follow us and all that crap. So thanks for listening. And it's a very good bye from me. My name's Adonis, and you can find me on Twitter at The Adelites. And in this podcast, you were listening to Ross Bell, and you can find him at Ross Bell 1984. It's a very good bye from him.
Goodbye.
And if you like Keith Dover, you can check out the Tuesday Club, and you'll
find me at a bar.
Yeah, bathe in Arsenal's tears because it's not going well for them.
It isn't.
So, can people find you somewhere, Keith?
They can find us occasionally at the Tuesday Club, and I don't do Twitter. I don't do that, so it's not a thing. I am no. You've seen how I've talked today sober. Can you imagine me pissed on Twitter? Really, it's not going to end well for me.
I think the Tuesday Club Twitter handle, if you want to follow it, is not you, Bentley.
Yeah.
England's answer to Donald Trump. Keith Dover pissed, tweeting at 3 a.m.
Oh, no, God, no.
Stop the count.
Yeah, no, we're not going there.
Radio. So that's all we've got time for. Thank you very much and enjoy the game. Come on, Leeds! On and on!
I'm going to text you so much if we beat you.
Most of our stats come from LUFC Stats or LUFC Data on Twitter. A very special thanks to Barney Stewart Cook, Ewan and Howard Metcalf, Josh Pearson, Laura, Leon and Rob, The Light Show, and all our family and friends.